A gaming venue at a Melbourne racecourse could lose its licence after a money laundering bust. 3 people arrested in raids have been charged over paying patrons millions in dirty cash in exchange for their winning pokies checks.
For years, gambling venues have come under scrutiny from authorities for their association with criminal gangs and money laundering. Casinos are targeted by crime syndicates who need a way to transform their illegally earned cash into legitimate income. And seeing as most gamblers still use cash when they play, it's the perfect place for syndicates to exploit players. But how do they get away with it? And how would you know if you were targeted to help criminals launder money? Most gambling operators deny any involvement with illegal activities, but there's no doubt that the amount of money going through those places daily makes them the perfect spot to offload some illegally earned cash. A recent investigation into money laundering in Australia under the codename Operation Avaris Arvon has discovered a complex criminal syndicate preying on unsuspecting gamblers at a Greyhound gambling venue in Queensland. The scheme plays out like this. When a player wins big at a slot machine, a member of the gang approaches the winner to make a deal. They tell the winner that if they sign over their winning check, they'll be given their prize in cash that same day, plus a generous bonus. Now the person who won might think it's suspicious, but on the flip side, it means they don't have to take the check to the bank and wait for the money to clear. Not to mention, that cash bonus is really tempting.
You see people like laundering around machines and you see people winning prizes and then basically other people approaching them.
What would you do in this situation? Take the money and run? Or bank the check and wait 3 or 5 days for the money to show up in your account? Well, it turns out a lot of winners would prefer to have the cash the same day, so they sign over their checks for profit. The gang members then deposit the check into a legitimate bank account and declare the income as gambling winnings. This way, the gang can claim the money in their account as genuine gambling winnings and launder cash through the winning slot machine players. In September 2022, police arrested 3 alleged members of the gang. Investigators declared that a 49-year-old woman was the head of the operation, and her job was to coordinate the members to approach the winners at the venue. The 2 others they arrested in the same sting were a 63-year-old man and a 61-year-old woman, whose job was to purchase the checks from winners. Investigators believe the trio were able to launder millions of dollars using their elaborate scheme, and when they raided the accused homes and properties, they found over $114,000 in cash and gold bullion hidden under floorboards.
Well, 3 people have been arrested so far in these raids. A 49-year-old woman, she's the alleged ringleader of this money laundering syndicate, and then a couple, a man and a woman, pensioners aged in their 60s, also arrested. They're all accused of approaching pokies winners at a Springvale gaming venue, paying them in cash, overs in cash for their jackpot winning tickets, and then cashing in those checks themselves to money launder this dirty money. The AFP seized $170,000 cash, as well as gold bullion, and the threat is more arrests could very well follow.
So what tipped the police off to this money laundering network? Records from the establishment showed that 73% of the winners' checks were made out to just a small number of names. This would mean the players were either very lucky and winning big prizes every day, or that something suspicious was occurring either inside the machines or with the players. By the time the investigation had connected the dots to criminal activity, the laundered checks added up to more than $3.16 million. The accused were set to appear in court in October 2022. Each of them are facing a maximum sentence of 20 years in prison. Investigators claim that their operation is not over and they expect further arrests in the coming months. Y'all know what it is. Stay the fuck out of trouble.
If we find any breaches of Victoria's gambling laws, we will take action, and that could extend to some pretty hefty fines and to even cancelling the operator's licence.
Then there are the pokies winners who handed over their jackpots. Officers aren't ruling out charging them. Their investigation is far from over.